I'm Christopher Green. You're watching AMTV. Alternative Media Television is, of course, March 8th, 2017. This is a late night special. In fact, I was just outside and I have our post producer. They're going to put this up on YouTube for me in a minute so I can show you the footage. The biggest, brightest, most amazing three-quarter moon lighting up the sky. Maybe one star, a few stars out in the sky. And then this giant chemtrail right to the right of it. And there's two other ones crisscrossing across the sky. In fact, saw the same thing this morning as I was driving into studio, all across the Arizona sky. Made no comment on it at all. And then Alex comes up to me, he's like, "Hey man, you see the chemtrails today?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." This is a special broadcast for my Truth Warriors, the AMTV Underground. We're running real-time comments in the forum right now, of which I'll go to a few in a moment. I want to specifically dig into a stunning report. Stephen Hawking warns of New World Order agenda. Now, this is the same man who's been talking about artificial intelligence threatening mankind, that it could potentially extinguish our humanity. He's the same man talking about, hey, we need to get off to Mars with Elon Musk's technology, with the technology of Jeff Bezos of Amazon. Otherwise, humanity will go extinct. We will no longer exist as human beings because we will destroy ourselves like a disease, a stage 4 cancer that is feasting on its own evil nature. This comes out, and I had to report on it tonight. I had to get this out to you guys because it's absolutely so critical. Without a world government, he says. So he's pushing for the New World Order agenda. This is Stephen Hawking, the guy in his chair, talks real funny. He says technology will destroy us. This is from The Independent. Without a world government, technology will destroy us. So he is pushing forward, promoting, and marketing a New World Order agenda of total integration of global government, a merger of what they want as borderless countries so that we become this blob that they can control and essentially lead all the sheep to slaughter and massacre all of us and essentially dig our grave. This should just be unbelievable to you. It should be so radical that it doesn't even sound sane, yet I can't even make this stuff up. I can barely keep up with the news cycle because this is dropping not just by the day, not just by the hour, but by the minute. Take a look at this article along with me right now. This is stunning. Without a world government, technology will destroy us, according to Stephen Hawking. This aggression may destroy us all by nuclear or biological war. At the same time, and I'm going to get to these stories in a moment, the tensions have escalated as a result of North Korea's missile launches. If they're to be believed, if the mainstream media is to be believed, if the news cycle is to be believed, if this propaganda, warfare, psychological mind control is to be believed. And here we have Stephen Hawking suggesting that technology will destroy us unless we push for a world government. Total, illuminated control by this man and his cohorts. Satan. We need to control this inherited instinct by our logic and reason and a world government. George Bush talked about this, a New World Order agenda. Stephen Hawking has warned that technology needs to be controlled in order to prevent it from destroying the human race. The world-renowned physicist who has spoken out about the dangers of artificial intelligence in the past believes we need to establish a way of identifying threats quickly before they have a chance to escalate. Since civilization began, aggression has been useful in as much as it has definite survival advantages. He told The Time, it's, quote, hardwired into our genes by the Darwinian evolution. Right? The whole Darwinian evolution is that we started as a blob. We were just this blob of goo, just kind of this mass just sitting there. They don't know how it got there. They don't want you to think about that part, but it was just there. It was a goo. It was a mass. It was just chilling. And while it was just chilling, just kind of like doing this, it decided to explode in what they call a Big Bang. And then after deciding to explode, again, they can't explain what happened before the big blob, but the big blob was there. Once the blob was there, it was chilling, and it had one of those drinks with the little thing in it. It was sipping back, and it just decided to explode. That's called the Big Bang. And then we progressed, at least this is what they sell us, we became apes, and then we migrated to human beings. They're not really sure all the details, but it started from a blob, and it came out of nowhere, and then it exploded. He goes on to say it is hardwired into our genes by Darwinian evolution, I would say Darwinian dogmatism. Now, however, technology has advanced at such a pace that this aggression may destroy us all by nuclear or biological war. And this, I would argue, what we're seeing here, what I'm reading to you, is psychological warfare. This is the very mind control and essence of it I was discussing today during our live broadcast. He goes on to say we need to control this inherited instinct by our logic and our reason. Here we see an Orwellian picture of an Illuminati eye. We're only seeing one eye, by the way. Isn't that interesting how they just show us that? This horrific looking man-made machine. I'll cycle through a couple of the images here so you can see. Here's another image of one of these artificial intelligent units that will be, if it's not already, soon replacing your job. That's why they want to put you on a universal income, because you're worthless. You're a worthless human. They don't need you. Why do you think they're blasting off to space? They're destroying the planet, stealing all the resources, and blasting off to Mars. Literally, that's what they're doing. That's what Elon Musk is doing. That's what Jeff Bezos is doing. That's why Elon Musk is also digging underground, because they're building secret underground cities. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. They don't want you to know that they're building and retrofitting bunkers, preparing for Armageddon, preparing for nuclear fallout. Yet they sell us this crap, this big con job, like it's a good thing. Here's another image of this all-seeing illuminated one eye. And believe me, that is not a coincidence. Here's another one of these machines that we've seen. What movie was it? Put it in the comment box below. You know the one I'm thinking of, Avatar, where they were driving these types of hellish robots, weapons of war, total destruction. Look at the scale. Look at this dude just sitting here. He's just chilling. This guy here is probably running some kind of artificial intelligence program or algorithm or something like that. Look at it. This thing is huge. It says engineers test a 4-meter tall humanoid. There's nothing human about this. Manned robot dubbed Method 2 in a lab of the Hankook Mirai Technology in Gunpo, south of Seoul in South Korea. So, wow, this is actually being developed in South Korea at the same time Kim Jong-un is prepared to start a nuclear event. Here's another image of this hellish depiction of what they say is a humanoid, but really there's nothing human about it. Just a weapon of war and total decimation and desecration of human life. What are they going to equip this thing and this type of technology to do? How many people will these machines kill, murder, and maim like we've seen horrifically in the movie Terminator 2, for example, with Arnold Schwarzenegger? See how they're manifesting our worst nightmare, folks? They're manifesting a self-created version of hell. Absolute hell. Absolute ghoulish demons. And this is the world that they want to create for you. Is this the world that you want to live? Let's look at these images. They're just... can go on and on here. He suggests that some form of world government could be ideal for the job, but would itself create more problems. But that it might become a tyranny. Then he says, after needing to create the world government, oh yeah, it could also become a tyranny. Quote, but that might become a tyranny, he added. All this may sound a bit doom-laden, but I am an optimist. I think the human race will rise to meet these challenges. In a Reddit AMA back in 2015, Mr. Hawking said that AI would grow so powerful it would be capable of killing us entirely, unintentionally. The real risk with AI isn't malice, but competence, Professor Hawking said. A super intelligent Orwellian being. AI will be extremely good at accomplishing its goals, and if those goals aren't aligned with ours, well, he says we're going to be in trouble. We'll be what the Steve Wozniak equivalent, he suggested we would just be the pet. And hopefully they treat us well. They might just look at us like we're an ant, put their shoe and press down hard on our backs and just like a little irritant. You're probably not an evil ant hater who steps on ants. That is so amazing that maybe I saw that with my unconscious and was real, because I wasn't even reading that. You're probably not an evil ant hater who steps on ants out of malice, but if you're in charge of a hydroelectric green energy project and there's an anthill in the region to be flooded, too bad for the ants. Let's not place humanity in the position of those ants. And then it goes on to say, of course, Tesla CEO Elon Musk shares a similar viewpoint, having recently warned that humans are in danger of becoming irrelevant. Over time, I think we will probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence. That's the neural lace that he's referring to, the merger, the mark of the beast, the chip that they so desperately want you to take. Please, I'm praying, do not take the mark. Please, God, do not take the mark. Once you take the mark, it's all over. There's no going back, folks. And they want you to take the mark. He says, over time, I think we will probably see a closer merger of biological intelligence and digital intelligence, suggesting that people could merge with machines in the future in order to keep up. This man here pushing for a globalist New World Order agenda. At the same time, I told you I was going to get into a few stories today, and let's go quickly to see on YouTube. There's the live stream. If our producer has put what I asked for, here the chemtrails processing has started, so I'll show you that in a moment. And by the way, if you haven't seen this video, full breakdown, Alien Body Experience, which is exclusive or on demand, I highly encourage you watch it. I highly encourage you subscribe for the price of a cup of coffee, $4.95 a month. Support us. I'm not airing it publicly. It's private. It is probably the most fascinating piece of work I've ever done. And this isn't clickbait. I'm not joking. I really did have an experience. An out-of-body, unbelievable, as you see here, image of me and what I saw. An unbelievable experience where I communicated with some kind of other life form. And I know what that sounds like, and I know it sounds really out of the box and crazy. I totally get it. Another reason why I didn't air it publicly. Those of you that watched it, I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, and the reason why I chose to air it and not just keep it to myself is because I'm looking for answers. I'm hoping that by putting out something that's a little scary for me to put out there, but is very honest, might help me to better understand what it is I saw. And, you know, I know what you're thinking. I'm 100% coherent, 100% sane. No, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do any of those things. I know what I saw, and I saw something. So watch that video. Chad, our AMTV contributor, he's done several videos for us thus far, a lot more coming, sits down with me and helps me to weed through kind of this mess to understand and to try to put into words, although I don't even think I did a very good job of it, to explain the unexplainable. An out-of-body experience outside of the human five-sense experience. A higher level connection was something that was truly amazing for me, life-altering, and at the same time, really scary. I encourage you to join us. And I want to welcome everybody who's tuned in on demand right now at amtvmedia.com. Thank you so much for your support. I'll be going to your questions in the forum section here in a minute as well. But this happens at the same time North Korea warns they could soon launch not just an attack on the United States, as they just test-fired these nuclear-propelled rockets, missiles that landed in the Sea of Japan, but that they could actually hit Hawaii. And I don't say these things lightly. I have family that live in Hawaii. Okay, we have some generations of family there. I'm not making this stuff up. People, there's always this accusation like, oh, it's a fear-mongering thing. Oh, you're just trying to scare people. These aren't my words. This is what the media is telling us. This is what the Clinton News Network is telling us. This is what CNN's telling us. This is what Fox News is telling you. MSNBC is telling you. This is what the Washington Free Beacon is reporting. Look at this story for yourself. This is not my opinion. I'm reporting news. Like what they say, that's real journalism. Report what's going on. Well, here we go. North Korea could soon launch attack on Hawaii. Experts call for immediate upgrade in states' missile defenses. North Korea could soon have the capacity to launch an attack on Hawaii that would devastate America's Pacific military bases, accelerating the need for the United States to upgrade missile defenses in the area. If this is to be believed, if this is not psychological warfare itself, the United States today relies on ground-based ballistic missile interceptors deployed in California and Alaska to protect Hawaii. But these defenses would do little to guard U.S. territory in the Pacific against a North Korean intercontinental ballistic missile, an ICBM. And of course, this is what we've been reporting on. This is what I've been taking a lot of heat on, is that the rhetoric has only intensified. It's your job to decipher truth from fiction. And what do they say? That a lot of the times the truth is stranger than fiction? Because again, this is what the media is messaging. They're amplifying the rhetoric. They're amplifying this dogma that we're about to go to war with Russia, that Russia hacked our election, even though the United States hacks elections all the time, that Donald Trump is connected with the Kremlin, that North Korea at any moment, through these test firing of nuclear warheads that are landing in the Sea of Japan, may potentially bomb Hawaii. I'm not making this stuff up. This is just reality. Again, it's up to you to think, to wade through the bullshit with your equivalent weed whacker of truth to figure out why they're messaging this and if there's any accuracy to the message. Or it could be psychological warfare. It could just be, again, conditioning Americans for what, well, is inevitably coming. War. That agenda has not changed. That is the agenda. Just like Stephen Hawking, as we introed this piece tonight, this late night special live, that's the agenda. Total global integration. Total global control. Total neural integration of one's mind to become part of this transhuman Borg. A man-made dystopic hell. The U.S. Missile Defense Agency in February test-fired a new SM-3 Block 2A missile from Hawaii that successfully intercepted an incoming ballistic missile. And by the way, I'm sure most of you know this, the Pearl Harbor event. Intelligence knew that was coming before it actually, they could have put a stop to it, but they didn't. They chose to allow Pearl Harbor to take place, of which cost many American lives, because they knew, Eisenhower knew, I'm mixing that up, Roosevelt FDR knew that we needed a catalyst and something to rally the American people behind a war they would never get behind, because we had just suffered the bloody loss of World War I. Not the loss, we won, but the loss of life. And it was kind of a Gulf of Tonkin moment to bring and rally the American troops the direction they wanted to herd the sheep. My question, could this not be happening again? There's actually a fantastic video that's coming to mind that's also on demand, that's never been aired publicly, where I go into grave detail about what I am touching upon here late night. Forgive me for my mind, it's late. And these are heavy topics, so especially when we're going live, I make mistakes from time to time. Bear with me. But the Pentagon does not maintain a permanent missile defense installation or detection capability on the Hawaiian Islands. The Pacific Missile Range Facility in Hawaii, and especially if you're out there in Hawaii, as I've got family, this is a grave concern. The Pacific Missile Range Facility in Hawaii hosts an experimental land-based ballistic missile defense system. The facility served as a prototype for the U.S. Missile Defense Facility in Romania, which was declared operational last year, and another in Poland that will be completed in 2018. So here's the question. Here's another corroborating report. Again, I'm not making this stuff up. This is just the news. As North Korea missile threat grows, Japan lawmakers argue for first strike options. What we need to ask ourselves, folks, what we need to think about critically is, what is going to be the catalyst? See, it could be a North Korean conflagration missile launch that then, of course, brings in kind of the Franz Ferdinand moment that brings in the United States into the war, that brings us into the war ultimately with who we know what and who the enemy is. It's Russia, the big angry bear, and it's also, this is what they sell us, and it's China. World engagement, world war. I've actually got a special video. It's in post-production now. We're working on that as I'm broadcasting this live. I got my crew out there in the back. What is that catalyst that's going to ignite it? Donald Trump, I really believe, this is some economics here for you guys interested, but I really believe Donald Trump's going to default on the debt. He's going to declare bankruptcy, essentially. He's going to call it restructuring, but it's another fancy term, makes you feel good inside, all gooey. He's going to restructure. It's called default. Who is that going to piss off the most? Let me ask it another way. Who owns most of our treasury debt? They're selling it in droves right now because they know this is coming. But who stands to lose the most from a potential default, a restructuring, a bankruptcy of the debt? Well, ding, 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 ding. I know you guys have the answer. China. China, as Trump will say. What is that moment? They're not going to telegraph this to you, by the way. This is the rhetoric now. We're getting the rhetoric. You're not going to have time to react. Okay, just like we saw with the Oroville Dam situation, for example, the dam that's been failing. They'll give you like 5 minutes notice. 5 minutes heads up. That'll be the emergency warning. You won't have any time when this goes down. Just like they gave you zero warning of Pearl Harbor. Even though the United States placed an embargo long before on Japan because they wanted to provoke Japan to bomb us. And they also knew through intelligence, this is all declassified now, they knew it was coming. But they allowed it to happen because in their minds it served the greater good. Yes, there was casualties, there was loss of American lives, but their whole aim was to bring America into the war and rally public perception behind it. And it's why they allowed it to happen. The same thing with September 11th. It's just strategy. And the way these creeps rationalize it, the loss of life, is that they say in their minds, at least, it serves a greater good. These are just casualties of war, as they'll call them. And they'll just put it in the back of their mind. who's going to be the next casualty of war? Not just in this country, but abroad. Who's going to experience that next attack? This isn't American focus, folks. This is global. It's human-centric. And this is the news tonight, March 8th, 2017. Let me see if I can show you, and I'll continue in this vein, but I want to see if that video that I mentioned to you of the moon and the chemtrails is up, and it looks like it is. So let me go to this. It'll be the first time you guys can see this. And I think there's a little bit of sound playing. I'll turn it off just in case. And give me a thumbs up. Let me know everything's working here. Good, guys. We got a good transmission going. So move that over and play this video. Hopefully you can see this. Hold on one second. I think I'm not on the right thing. There it is. Here we are. You see the chemtrail right next to the moon there? The camera shot, I probably zoom in a lot more here in a minute. Chemtrail going this way from north to south. And what you can't really see is there was one going this way from left to right. I don't know if my cursor is working. And there was another one below the moon. Let's see if I zoom in. There it is. You see the chemtrail now? All day today in Arizona, they've been spraying us like bugs. All freaking day. No wonder I'm so tired. No wonder I feel so poisoned. They're spraying us like freaking bugs. And they don't even tell us what's in here. We know a couple of the compound elements that are in there, the chemicals. Again, this is just like spraying crops. They're spraying the flock of sheep as we all bow ourselves to sleep and lead ourselves to slaughter, essentially. Anyways, I just thought it was just another reminder. And that looked like about probably the best shot. I'm just skipping ahead here. There it is again. There the lighting came back. You can see that chemtrail right there. Just unbelievable, guys. This is where it's headed. This is where it's all going. This is real. This is just the news. China urges U.S. and North Korea to avert head-on collision. And Japan is contemplating a first strike on North Korea. How is Kim Jong-un going to respond to this? Like, this guy, if he really is a loose cannon and he's unhinged, like American media wants us to believe, well, why would they be telegraphing to him right now when he's in a... This would only make him more uncomfortable. It would only make him more unhinged. If you were Kim Jong-un, wouldn't you be pressing the red button right now? Like, dude, they're telling me they're going to attack me. They're saying that Japan might first strike my country, my fragile North Korea. Like, they're only putting this guy into a corner. Why? Because they want this to happen. I really believe this. They want this to go down. It's not a belief system. It is reality. This is what's happening right now. They want this war. This comes at the same time FBI Director James Comey made some really interesting comments. Let me plug in my headphones so I can listen in along with you. Hopefully this thing is plugged in okay. He made some interesting comments as a result of these Vault 7 leaks. Data dump from WikiLeaks. I wanted to play it for you so I can listen too. So let's go to this real quick.
And here's something that I don't mean to freak you out with, but I think is true. Even our memories are not absolutely private in America. Right? Any of us can be...
Even our memories aren't even private in America anymore? What? I mean, I understand that to be a truth, but he's actually admitting it? That is unbelievable. He's admitting that even your memories are not private. Do you get that? They're not even hiding it. He's telling you. I've been telling you this for years. Your memories aren't private. They're reading your mind. And he's just flat out saying it nonchalantly. Yeah, we do read your mind. They're not private. Let's continue. Let me play that again. Did you catch that? Listen to that again.
And here's something that I don't mean to freak you out with, but I think is true. Even our memories are not absolutely private in America. Right? Any of
He prefaces it with, I don't want to freak you out, but even your memories aren't private because we're hacking them, we're surveilling them. And the National Spying Agency knows everything. Again, one more time, just for good measure, because share this with your friends, by the way, because they won't believe you. And when they call you a crackpot conspiracy theorist, send them this video, this live stream I'm broadcasting for you right now here, AMTV Alternate Media Television, and play this for them. Play it 3 times, just so they can hear it 3 times. Here we go again, good measure. This is James Comey, the FBI director. This is not a conspiracy theorist. This is the guy that is in charge of a vast intelligence agency all his own, called the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. Very high up on the totem pole. He's supposed to be credible in the minds of most sheep, right? This is what he has to say.
And here's something that I don't mean to freak you out with, but I think is true. Even our memories are not absolutely private in America. Right? Any of us can be compelled, in appropriate circumstances, to say what we remember, what we saw. Even our communications with our spouses, with our clergy members, with our attorneys are not absolutely private.
Okay, so I'm going to end it there. You can watch the whole video yourself, but he essentially says nothing is private. Your thoughts are not private. They know everything. They're reading your mind, very nonchalant about it. He doesn't want to worry you. He doesn't want to scare you or freak you out, but they're reading your mind. Not news to me, by the way. I've been telling you guys this for years, going on a decade. It's very, very real. Lord Jesus, this is reality. I'm going to go to comments here in a moment in the forum section on demand. Thank you so much for your tremendous support, guys. I did want to close just kind of an inch before I go to the comments. People are asking about the live Q&A, so I'm going to do that here in a moment. People are saying, so ask your question, comment, put it in the box below. I'll get to it in a minute. Refresh your browsers too. By the way, I want to welcome all of our new users. We have added, just the community is just growing exponentially. It is the most amazing, exciting thing I've ever been a part of. And I just want to thank all of you for joining us, joining the underground, being a part of it. It is beautiful. It is amazing. I'm learning so much, and watching this thing build momentum is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. So thank you. And I want to welcome all the new members as well. I'll be reaching out to you guys personally. And one great way I can interact with you is these Q&As and all this. And the forum section is really taking off. So thank you to everybody who's participating. And this is actually where I'm pulling a lot of my content from, because our Truth Warriors are sending me all this content. I mean, I'm funneling through. I think we've got hundreds and hundreds of new threads that have been posted even this week. I mean, it's incredible. A true underground community. I did want to close with this article, which I just thought was interesting before the live Q&A. And click that link below. If you guys want to subscribe and get all this content I'm talking about, you can start a free 14-day trial. But I wanted to cover this article with you guys. Flesh Food TV. It was just bizarre. It's just kind of a bizarre thing that I saw. Flesh Food TV presenter eats human brain during filming of documentary before angry cannibal throws his own poop at him. And here's this guy. He works for the Clinton News Network. He's just chilling. And this dude over here poops in his hand and throws it at the CNN reporter, which is kind of awesome. Like, CNN just keeps stooping to a newer and newer low. Like, first off, they were caught this week spying on Donald Trump through the Oval Office window because they have no access to him anymore. Now they've got this douchebag over here having poop thrown at him by this guy crapping in his hand and eating a human brain. They've got to resort to literal cannibalism because they're so irrelevant, and they need the shock value to woo a couple viewers to their dying dinosaur media platform as alternative media truly takes over. Here's the image of the guy pooping in his hand before he's going to throw it at the CNN reporter. After doing that and desecrating the Clinton News Network with his poop, he then puts this weird shell, almost looks like crab legs or something, around his head that seems to hurt this guy. He looks like a real wuss, too, through this entire experience, by the way. Here he is when he's all polished up, looking all serious as he works for the dinosaur. Dying dead media. Here's a little footage. I'll just play you a bit. Let me put my headphones in, too, so I can hear this. Excuse me.
जो जो खाएगा वही हम खाएंगे.
Oh, thanks. Well, okay.
Kamal.
All right.
So CNN truly has stooped to a new level. I'm not going to play the rest, but he basically, after this, and after the poop's thrown at his face, you can watch it in your own time if you really want to. He tells his like producers and the camera guys, like, can you guys please get me the hell out of here? Like, maybe I can let's just leave right now. He's just terrified. He's literally had to resort to eating brains and having crap thrown in his face. You can't make this stuff up. So let's go to some questions. Let's do this Q&A. There's probably a lot. You can ask me anything. See where we are here. Ask your question, comment in the box below. Sebas says, yep, Big Bang Monkey theory, deaf sound science. No fossils and no idea what banged, but it's enough to print our textbooks and convince the world not to ask questions. Yeah, through Darwinian dogmatism. It was a blob, right? And then it farted and decided to explode. We're supposed to believe that. And we became monkeys. Yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, we're all monkeys. Do we even have a chance to shake this system down? Here, let me do a quick glance here of all the comments. Okay, well, that's a lot. Let me show you guys so you can follow along here with me. See what I'm looking at here this late night. So, welcome. I'd lose my head if. Have you ever thought of taking up singing? That's kind of an interesting question. I did say ask me anything. Not really, although I did play a little bit of guitar. Here, I'll like that. It's an interesting comment, I think. I played a little bit of guitar in my youth. I wasn't really any good, but I could hold a tune. And I did notice that my mind opened up. My sense of inability to learn after learning music, it really kind of changed the way I thought about things and kind of opened up a new sphere in my brain that I thought was really interesting. I can hold a tune. I can play basic chords. I had a guitar that was actually given to me by a close friend his dad, who made these guitar cases for a living out in California. And one day for my birthday, just gave me a guitar. Like just this badass acoustic guitar that was actually an acoustic electric. And I still have it, although the fretboard is kind of bent and I need to fix it. I've written music, a lot of it actually, and I actually think I'm a pretty good writer. I just don't think I'm a very good performer, nor do I think I'm a good singer, to be honest with you. So have I thought about taking up singing? Oh yeah, and I did take lessons once for singing, and I don't know, maybe I can sing. This is what the instructor told me, that I have a very unique voice, and where I should be is an opera. Isn't that weird? That's kind of what they wanted to push me towards, is to use my voice because they thought it was, I don't know if this is a word, operatic? Is that? I don't even know if that's a word. I'm probably malapropping that right now, which, look up malapropism if you don't know what that is when you invent a word. So hopefully that answers your question. And then they go on to say, I was watching that one where you were like, ah, to when I was talking about the mind control. I disagree with the world government. Here, let's go back so you guys can see this. I disagree. Let's see if I can zoom in too. I actually forget how to do that. Hold on. X scale. There you go. I disagree, excuse me, with the world government. I think we need to get rid of those who want to kill us off. Well, I think that's a pretty good point. Ramfly High 57, welcome to the community, posted Darwin was an adversary of Satan, I believe, just a bad guy. And yes, we could argue that. We could argue that this whole idea, of which I've talked about, and people want to pigeonhole me, that we live in a simulation, that this is a video game, this is a matrix. There's been a lot of study on this. This is what physicists are exploring right now, where they're discovering quite literally computer code, zeros and ones at the edge of the universe. I could argue that that is almost a intellectual form of deception. Let me explain. You might not be the smartest person on the planet, and Satan can show himself to you. You can also be really, really smart and intellectualize yourself into your own hell. I don't know the answer, to be honest. I think that there is some evil for sure, because I can sense it. I can, through my sensory perception, feel that. And people always try to pigeonhole me. Again, just because I'm on a topic doesn't believe that I'm endorsing it. It means I'm intellectualizing and searching for truth and exploring all the topics that a lot of them make me very uncomfortable, that I might not believe. That's the point of what alternative media television is, to, again, debate and intellectualize things that are uncomfortable, to question your and our very collective reality. Just like the whole flat earth thing, which I'm extremely skeptical on, by the way. And my first gut reaction is that's just a bunch of horse crap. But will I think about it? Will I think it through? Yes. Will I debate others? In fact, I want to do a flat earth debate. I forget who some of these individuals are. One of them's like Dubai or something like that. But I've got my team reaching out. By the way, I want to thank Mandy. I'm totally booked up the next 2 or 3 weeks or something, I think, with guests on the live show. So I'm slammed. And I've had a couple other interview requests too. So as I do the circuit and I'm running interviews on other people's programs, I'll notify you guys. A great way to do that's Twitter. If you don't already follow me, please do at AMTV Media. That way I can tweet, hey, I'm going on in 5 minutes. I'm going to be on XYZ show, etc. Bobby Knott says, very disturbing, I may say. Let's go to this comment so you guys can see it. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? Thank you, by the way, for everything you're doing for our community. Bobby is one of our stunning truth warriors, posting a lot of content and also doing a great job welcoming everybody new to the program, which I think is really important. You know, every time we get a new subscriber, a new member of the Underground, that is an opportunity for us to welcome them. And it's exactly what I think is wrong with our society, is that we don't have community and we don't know our neighbors. And my goal is to build not just the digital underground, which we're doing, but to build real life, tangible community where we experience other people, other people's humanity, and we find friendship and love and the things that we all desperately need. We, as human beings, need people. We need each other. We don't need these things. They don't really connect us that well. They're a disconnecting tool. They're a great tool too. It's amazing it's amazing what we can do. We couldn't get the truth out without it. We're fighting the machine, the war, kind of inversely from that perspective. But we can never lose sense of what it means to be human. What and who we are, what our collective humanity truly is. And we need human beings. We need meaningful relationships in our lives. So I just want to thank Bobby, because she's, and everybody in our community for that matter. Please welcome each new member, of which we have thousands, and is blowing my mind, by the way. Welcome each and every person, new individual. And the other thing I would ask too, although we are completely a free platform, free speech platform, all these things, and to a certain extent anything goes, what was I going to say about that? Just be respectful also of other people and their diversity of opinion. It's funny, some of the new members are like, hey, Christopher, what do you think about this? I totally disagree with you. I'm like, cool, that's good. Want to talk about it? Want to debate? And, I'll type back a message. I disagree with you. I don't think you're right about that. It's about learning. I don't know everything, just like you don't know everything. Stay humble. Humility is the best quality. I honestly believe this. I don't care how smart you think you are or what you know. The more you know, the more you realize, and I found this with personal experience, the more you don't. So Bobby says, very disturbing, I may say. New World Order will not happen, B. I would have said more, but you know what I want to say. F that. I wonder how many of us have the mark without wanting to take it. Well, that's a good question. I can make a strong argument we already have it. Now, my view of the mark is the physical, biological embodiment merger with the technology. This is what the transcendent, transhuman agenda is, of which I got a bunch of books on my shelf here that you can't see right now that I'm reading by Ray Kurzweil, Aubrey de Grey, and others right now. Go look it up for yourself. This is the beginning, of the mark, but it's when they merge you biologically, the human being, where it is physically, biologically connected to the beast. Chipped. RFID. You've seen it, where they show these videos online. They put them in your hand. Sorry, I'm just kind of scared thinking about that. But when that happens, and it's already happening, it's not only a sign of end times, Armageddon, and the apocalypse is biblical prophecy, but it's I don't know. It's tough. Guys, it's tough sometimes. I can't even say what I want to say. It's tough to see the fallen world for what it is sometimes. Chad is very awakened and a very amazing soul for you to travel with. He keep you balanced. Thank you. Yeah, Chad is doing an excellent job. We've been adding a lot of new contributors. I also want to introduce, I've got another contributor who's coming in the next few days. We've got even more content. Again, we're bringing the life rafts together. We are fighting a war against the mainstream media. We are fighting this aggressive censorship. We are fighting the de-algorithmed situation that is pushing our views down and all these kinds of things. We are bringing the life rafts together because we are stronger together than we are independent, than we are alone, each person trying to fight for themselves. So I'm not going to announce who this person is. We've got a lot more contributors coming, but we just locked and loaded somebody brand new, more AMTV exclusive content coming in the next few days. Can we hack their own missiles to blow them up instead? I'm sure we can. Just like they can hack cars, just like they can hack planes like Flight MH370 or Flight MH17, which they blamed on Russia, even though we know that's a total lie. And yes, it is a nightmare and it is coming true. Let me refresh here real quick. We got a ton of comments actually coming here, so it's tough to kind of keep up with them, but hold on. I want to say hi to Josh. What's up, brother? I like that avatar. You can build an avatar too, so it's kind of cool. I've got my picture up on my comments too when I respond to you guys. He says, what better way to control the masses than to create a boogeyman? North Korea. If you have a boogeyman, you have something to rally against. Drive fear of and justify tax dollars to defend against. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I really think North Korea is kind of that, well, the boogeyman, I think, is an excellent word. I think it's potentially a catalyst. They're definitely intensifying the rhetoric right now. And very likely is a false flag, Josh. And very likely is a potential Gulf of Tonkin moment. The illusion that they want the American public to believe to justify the war they've planned from the get-go, and that any of us enlightened that understand these things know it's coming. And I would argue is already here. I want to welcome Julie. Hi, Julie. I think you're new. Well, you have a pretty common name. I don't think I've seen you before. Julie, welcome. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I want to welcome you to our amazing platform. She says, chemtrails viewed here at the beach in La Jolla. It's a very nice part of California, by the way. Nice place. I miss the water, Julie, so much. Oh, gosh, I really do miss it out there. I'm from California, not La Jolla, but I'm a water sign. I need the water. We don't have it here in Arizona. It's the one thing that I miss. I feel my soul it speaks at the water. There's just something amazing with I don't know, it just breathes life into me. I really miss it. I really want to see the ocean at some point in the future. But we're just working so darn hard and covering so much. This is our mission here at AMTV. I saw them when I went outside at 3 p.m. So reporting on this. Thanks for reporting. Get some footage, too. If you guys get footage, you can embed, I'm sure you've noticed this, but you can place images and video footage, embed the videos. You can embed it right here on demand. So I'd like to see some of this stuff. If you catch it, grab it. I might use it and air it. I had Jack, who's working on T-shirts for us right now, Truth Warrior T-shirts, by the way. and I'll announce that once we've got them. Truth Warrior, Thought Control t-shirts, a couple other design ideas I think are really cool for men and women. But yeah, so take footage of this. She says, seemed to be very high and probably inland 5 to 10 miles, later perhaps over El Cajon region, not at the beach, but inland a bit. Then by 5:30, they had blown to be same formation, excuse me, north to south and farther inland, as having turned on an axis as far as inland is where the furthest eastern part started that I could see earlier. Okay. I'm just showing you here Julie's comment she just posted a couple of minutes ago. Hiho is a brand new Silver 87 brand new. Welcome. Great to see you in the forum tonight. Do you follow the WebBot reports, Cliff High? A little bit. If so, what do you think is going on in Antarctica? Well, Mom always told me if you don't know, just tell people you don't know. I don't know, actually. I do follow a little bit of the WebBot. I'm familiar with it. And I know who Cliff High is. I think he... I did a video on this. We've had some interesting discussions, thoughts about how to fight the algorithm, for example. I did a video on this not too long ago. I think it was last week, how to beat Google, so to speak. You can watch that video on demand. But I don't know what's going on in Antarctica, so educate me there. Maybe put it in the comment, and I'll refresh the page. I haven't heard anything on this. Does that have anything to do? I'm just guessing. Does it have anything to do with flat Earth? I'm not really sure. Derek, and I'll refresh this in a minute. These comments are just coming pretty quick. Derek, I want to welcome you as well. I believe you're a new subscriber. I don't think I've seen you here before. How long do you think this current bull market in the Dow will continue? It seems so much more artificial than normal, if that is even possible. Well, great question. So, I don't know. Here's what I do know. I know math, and I know looking back for as long as the markets have existed. This is the math. Market cycles typically only last from 7 to 10 years from peak to trough. Before a recession, which is common in a normal market cycle, boom to bust, boom to bust, boom to bust. And then, of course, there's these tragic Great Depression moments that set us back multi-decades, or like what we saw in 2008 and 2009, which was complete mayhem, hysteria, Bush threatening martial law on the streets, and the world was coming to an end, World War III. So knowing the facts there, none of that's my opinion, just knowing the data. That's the data. You're a statistician. You want to look at the bell curve at the end of the bell curve and look at the stats over a long rolling period of time since the markets even existed. 7 to 10 years, Ray Dalio knows this, by the way. He talks about this a lot. 7 to 10 years before the market cycle changes. Okay, so let's backtrack. We'll go back to 2008. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 9 years. That means we got one left. So to answer that question, there's times when, we're due, right? We're just right there. We're looking at this debt load of 20 trillion. In fact, that's the video we're working on right now. So I'll have, it doesn't give a timeline on it, but it talks about economics and what's going on. And how do I even cover all this? Like, honestly, how do I even how do you even cover the economic class that's going on? How do you cover North Korea? How do you cover China? How do you cover neural implants and everything that we are talking about? Everything, whether you're religious or not, spiritual or not, we have a lot of different varying belief systems here on the platform. All roads lead to Rome, so to speak, and go the same direction. Intensified, increased rhetoric, war, and economic collapse. So we're due. Could it go? So we're approaching and getting into year 10 right now, the market cycle. Could it go an extra year and push its way into year 11? Yeah, it could. But statistically, we're talking, it should happen now. And also, what's really kind of hit me in the gut, and I felt the same way in 2008 and 2009, Derek, is that this complacency, that like everything is cool, because I see it within my own audience, all the people that tune in. It's just, people are so over the idea that there could ever be not just a crash, not just a cataclysm, but even a recession. They don't even believe that the market can correct at this point. It's just a straight shot to the moon, a hyperbolic, perpetual, endless move higher. Like, they can't even fathom that it won't just keep going into la la land, into the stratosphere. The complacency in this country, in the United States, is an all-time high. So is the debt. I mean, just look around you. Look at all the homes being financed, all the cars being, taken out on loan that people can't afford, all the cell phones that people can't afford, that, for example, can't afford these devices because they're like $1,000. Go on a payment plan, in which they force you to now. You can't even buy these things a lot of the time. You go on a payment plan like a car, and then the same people that can't afford the phone, in addition to buying the phone they can't afford, pay for the insurance to cover the same phone they couldn't afford. So they pay the insurance that, at the end of the day, is costing them more than the phone originally did that they could even afford. I mean, there's math and data to back that stuff up. I just wrote a report on this the other day. So, Derek, we're due, man. Why do you think I'm talking prepping? Why do you think before that, and I talk about in the video and post-production, get right with God, whoever your God is? I don't necessarily have to preach to you guys, but whatever you believe, whatever you think, and if it's not God, get right with your family or whatever. But my advice number one, get right with God. There's a lot of things economically you can do, because I get thousands of emails. What do I do with my money, Christopher? What am I supposed to do? Should I invest in this, invest in that? Should I go to cash? Should I borrow against my IRA? Should I, and I talk a lot about gold and silver and these things and precious metals. And yes, I think you should do those things. We're due, man. I look at it as a blessing. The more time we have, take care of business, brother. Take care of business, sisters, tuning in. Do what you need to do. Prep. Hope for the best. Pray for the best. Be optimistic. I'm an optimistic guy, but we know what's coming. Let me refresh again. Go to more of your comments here. Ricky Anderson, hey, what's up? We have so many new subscribers, it's ridiculous. Hey, Ricky, how you doing? It's great to have you here on the program. Thank you so much for your support, man. I am just so humbled by all of you guys. You guys freaking rock my world. You guys are awesome. Our truth warriors. Ricky says, just a couple minutes ago, hey, Christopher, did you watch the video I emailed you about mind control testimony, excuse me, in 1993? No, I haven't seen that yet. Doesn't mean I don't have it. And to be honest with you, I was looking at my email thread. I've got a couple different accounts. Our main one, which we've got the contact, it's going to take me probably a couple days to get to it, but I'll see if I can't search for that. Just wanted to know your thoughts. Love this channel and being part of the underground. Thank you so much. And I just want you guys to know I do everything I can to get to everybody, but it's become over the years, a little bit, well, not a little bit. It's an impossibility to get back to everyone. So one of the reasons why I'm doing these Q&A is because a lot of these questions are the same questions I'm getting repeatedly. So just know if for some reason I respond to a lot of you guys, I spend countless hours just responding to emails and these kinds of things because I think it's important to interact with you directly. But if for some reason I can't get back to you or I don't, just know that I'm doing the best I can. And I think it's better for me to get back to you personally, the ones that I do, than just have like an assistant or something. It's got to come from me. That's important to me. This is our community, and we're building this together, so it's important that there's that personal interaction. So I'll look for that, Ricky. Mandy says, one of your scheduled interviews has a lot of current knowledge on Antarctica, FYI. Okay, and Mandy, hey Mandy, what's up? Thank you so much. Mandy, I mentioned, has locked me up solid with our guest for the next couple of weeks. She's been freaking just killing it. She texted me, she's like, yeah, it's just how I roll, Christopher. Awesome. So looking forward to that. So I'm not sure who the guest is. Maybe you can drop that in the comment box. And thank you, Mandy, for your dedication, everything you're doing, and coming on board, helping us book guests. Our audience really appreciates it. I really appreciate it. Our team does. Let me know who that person is because I'm interested. I want Flat Earth. So Mandy, if you're tuning in right now, let's coordinate all the experts, quote unquote, in the Flat Earth. I want to get that debate going, and I'm going to shoot holes and throw daggers wherever I see, spots that don't make sense. I'm going to keep an open mind because I don't know. They once said the earth was flat, then they said it wasn't. Now they're saying it's flat again. I don't know. But I'm going to shoot holes, but I want to do a, flat earth roundtable, so to speak, so we really get into it and have some heated debate going on. I think that'd be really cool. So let's put that on our to-do list. What else, guys? What else is on your mind tonight? We got a few minutes, and then I'll be closing. Let me just go here. I'm checking a couple things out, so here, bear with me. Got about 2 or 3 minutes. I might go to 1 or 2 other questions here, and then we will tap out for the evening. This March 8th, 2017. Okay, there we go. I need to find that there. Load that there. Okay, just want to say hi to Female J77, American Citizen. This is going quick. Damian Taylor, see if I can read them all. Richard Campbell, Bennett Dion, Alexander, living in USA 1, Ratio Perfect, Asynchronous American Citizen, What is Up? Steve Stanhill, Female J777. Let me see if there's any questions quickly that I can respond to. I see some flat earth discussion comments in there. Why are airplane windows curved? Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez killed by CIA with induced cancer, possible. Any update on CERN? Yes. I'm not going to talk about it tonight, but yes, working on it. Thanks for your time. Thank you. Female J777. Someone says, watch the Mysterious Stranger Claymation on YouTube. Robots will be better. Hey, Melanie, how you doing? We need a savior because we were born into sin from the beginning. Cain and Abel. Cain killed Abel. Now the comments are going so quick I can't even see them. What's up? Hey, Chris. Hey, Matt. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Jason. Hey, Gerard. Like this video, guys. Share it. Sagacious. Hey, Phil. Like this video. Share it. Get it out. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You are my truth warriors. You're doing an amazing job. I'm totally humbled by it. What else can I say? But hard-hitting in your face. I'm Christopher Green. Get it out everywhere. Make it viral. I will see you tomorrow. Peace. Share it.